This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24.
Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 18th of October 2020 for quite the bumper edition this week. A lot of stuff are getting released this week, so let's jump straight into it with possibly one of my favorite developers finally releasing some content for the new Microsoft Flight Simulator. And not only one, he released two aircraft this week. So the first one we saw released this week was from India Foxteco Simulations, was his rendition of the Long Easy, which is a Burt Rutan designed twin seat aircraft, which is a fascinating home-built aircraft designed by Burt Rutan, who's an absolutely incredible aircraft designer. Very revolutionary, and this aircraft is one of those aircraft which looks absolutely weird, so unusual, and is just so awesome to see it renditioned into the new sim. Now, as I said, it's a fiberglass construction. As I said, it's a designed to be a home-built aircraft. There were factory-built options as well, and coming with a piston engine pusher aircraft with a sort of a Delta, so not a Delta wing, but a canard. It's a canard type aircraft. Now, the aircraft itself, it comes into a beautiful, highly detailed model with 8K textures throughout, both internally and externally, and 6 different liveries are included as well. All designed to be optimized with the new flight model for the new sim. It also has a lot of fascinating, as I said, it's been incredibly highly detailed and modeled. Now, the developer has highlighted, though, that the current flight model that's built into the new sim does not handle canard aircraft very well right now. It is something that Microsoft have in their roadmap for the future, but at the moment it does highlight that while the aircraft is close to the real thing, most often it says that sometimes at the edge of the performance envelope there might be some things where it may not perform exactly as advertised. But having said that, it is still a highly accurate rendition of the aircraft as best as possible, and coming in for a reasonably pretty affordable price as well, considering the detail, the quality of the aircraft. So coming in for around about $18 US, or your original equivalent, available from your favorite flight sim retailer. In another release from India Foxteco this week, we saw the release of one of his very popular aircraft that was originally for the Legacy Sims. The Aermacchi MB-339. Now, what's interesting is that previously, just a few weeks ago, developer in India Foxteco announced that they were actually bringing this aircraft to DCS, because a lot of people have been wanting Dino to work and develop for the DCS platform for a long time, but he's always been very hesitant and wanted to stay out of it. But eventually had actually sort of determined that this aircraft would be a perfect one to bring over to that platform. So it was actually kind of surprising and also really awesome when he did sort of quietly announce that he was also looking at bringing it over to the new Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. And then to have it turn up out of the blue as a release product, literally as this was about to go to air, is a really awesome thing to have happen as well. Now, as I said, this is a fascinating aircraft, a really interesting aircraft for me, because having seen quite a few of them fly, and I could get up close and personal with them in my time, especially when I was younger. So the Aermacchi is a military jet trainer, two-seat military jet trainer that was designed during the 1970s and would be very prolific in its service across much of the world, and actually continues to serve various nations to this day. Primarily, as I said, it is a trainer aircraft. However, it did get modified and used as a light attack and close air support aircraft as well. Now, this particular release rendition for Microsoft Flight Simulator is two of the unarmed aircraft. So it includes the MB-339A and Paine editions, which was a midlife upgrade later variant that was used by the UAE as part of their flight training programs. Now, includes a highly detailed external model for each variant. It also includes a highly detailed internal cockpit model as well. However, only the front cockpit, the pilot seat or the trainee seat, is actually modelled, and a full custom flight model based off the new flight sim model as well. Includes a variety of different texture sets for this one, including all in 8K, including the Italian Frecce Aermacchi tricolour aerobatic team. The Italian Air Force, two different Italian Air Force colour schemes, UAE and Argentinian and Royal Malaysian Air Force, and factory colours for Aermacchi are also included as well. Now, again, there are a couple of. It's interesting as well. He's also releases with a couple of known bugs. So, due to a limitation of the flight model, the one particular maneuver, the Lomkovac maneuver, is not currently supported at the moment. They are working to tweak that, so hopefully we'll see that in the future. Additionally, a couple of bugs was the panel backlighting, and the GPS functionality is limited to data mode only. But otherwise, it's still looking absolutely incredible, and it'd be really interesting to see how this is portrayed in the sim. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on this one, because I think this is, as I said, India Fox Teco is one of my favourite developers. Really glad to see he's made this on the sim. Looking forward to taking these aircraft for a sim. For a spin as soon as I can. Now, this one you can pick up again, coming in for about $25 US, or your regional equivalent, available from your favourite flight sim retailer. Continuing on with Microsoft Flight Simulator releases, but moving into the world of scenery releases. This week we saw a lot of port over releases this week, and I'm probably going to cover those off first. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each one of them, but as I said, there was a lot of port over releases this week. Okay, so let's start the rundown. This first one comes to us from developer Jetstream Design, which is a French developer. They brought their rendition of a Nantes Atlantique airport, which is an airport serving, funnily enough, the city of Nantes in western France. Yeah, this is a straight port of their prepared version. Not much else to say about that other than... yeah, that literally is it. Like, there's the only thing that's probably they've really done additionally is that they've added in support for the undulating runways and taxiways, but that's kind of it. Otherwise, straight port over. If you're an existing customer of theirs and have it previously, you get a discount of about 25%-ish from your retailer, available now from Sim Market for $19 for your, about $19 US or your regional equivalent for new customers. Right, continuing other port overs. Iron Sim also ported over their Greek airport for Karpathos Island, a national airport on the island of Karpathos in Greece. So again, straight port over. This one I'm really disappointed with straight up because they've already said it's not complete. Like, they go, it's custom ground and other features will be implemented in future updates. And I am always skeptical of developers when they say that, because I'm like, no. And looking at it from the publicity shots they've sent out, the photo reel looks worse than what I think is sitting there underneath there by what Microsoft releases. So, and just looking at the car park and stuff like that, this is rushed, straight up rushed, and is totally not worth the $15 they're charging for it. If you're an existing customer of theirs and had it previously for Legacy Sims, you get around about a 40% discount. But yeah, as I said, your mileage may vary on this one. First pass looking at the screenshots that they've published, these screenshots, not impressed. But yes, available now from Sim Market. And the next port over comes to us from Sierra Sim, who's continuing their releases. Now, this one, I've got to admit, this one looks good. So again, this is it's a partial port over. This one, they've actually spent, like, you can tell they've spent a lot more time on this one and actually overhauling it. There's a lot of content outside the airport as well. They've done a lot of work matching it. Photo reel, some of it looks really good, some of it not so much, but they've paid a lot of attention to the buildings, a lot of attention to the ramp and the apron, and putting a lot of custom details in there as well. So this one I'm pretty impressed with. The upgrade price, though, they're offering like 5% off, 5-10% off, if that. So not a huge discount offer if you're a existing user. However, as I said, a lot of work has gone into this one from looking at the screenshots. So that one looks kind of cool. In terms of if you are a new customer, you're looking at paying about $15 US or your regional equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Continuing on with another port over, this time from developer Just Sim, reporting over their rendition of Rhodes International Airport, or also known as Diagoras. I'm absolutely absolutely certain I've just butchered that Greek name, on the western side of the island of Rhodes. Problem with this is that they've literally given me nothing. Like, there is no information about what is, what is in this, like, what is this cool feature about it. Like, there's nothing. So just looking at the screenshots, it looks like it's not a bad port. It looks pretty good. But at the same time, I'm not 100% sure. Like, the ramp looks really good, the textures look really good, the ground poly looks pretty good. I can't tell if it's got sloped runways or not. Like, literally, there is zero information about this. Like, there is nothing. If you are an existing owner of the previous release of this, then you're getting around about a 30% discount on this one if you want to pick this up. Otherwise, for new customers, you're looking at paying, and I think it's a little overpriced, it's $20 US or original equivalent, available now from Sim Markets. And another port over, this time from developer UK 2000, it saw their release this week of Luton 2020 HD for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Again, straight port over of their recent release rendition of this, same thing for the ESP and X-Plane Sims. Really doesn't look that different. Publicity shots don't look bad though, so I'll give credit where credit's due. Like, it does look like they paid attention to it. Looks like the textures look pretty good. Modeling looks pretty much spot on. Night lighting looks really impressive. I'll absolutely give them that. The night lighting looks really, really good. The only thing that really annoys me about these guys, okay, I get mixed feelings about this, is the pricing. Straight up, the upfront pricing, $25. I think it's a little overpriced. However, what they are offering, they're offering a 50% discount for users who previously owned it for the legacy Sims. You will get a 50% discount of that from the store. So you can pick this one up for $25 US or your original equivalent, available now from UK 2000. And go on to our next port over, this time from FS Dream Team, with their release this week of Vancouver International Airport. Now, this is an interesting, it is a port over, but it's an updated port over. And I've got to admit, from looking at the screenshots, it looks like they have done a lot of good work on it. So the team does acknowledge that it is it does reuse a lot of assets from their previous release of this one for the Legacy Sims. However, they have updated the layout. So previously, this was released around about 6-7 years ago. This was released initially, but they've done a full overhaul of this one, including, so we now have full PBR texturing, full support for undulating runways and taxiways, includes all updates to the airport, so it reflects the airport as it appears during 2020, including the brand new sections of the brand new Pier B and Pier A terminal extensions have all now been modeled and included. A full update and full support now for full set of dynamic lighting for the Microsoft Flight Simulator lighting system. Also includes updated photo reel to match 2020 as well. So you get actually layout of the airport and surrounding areas to matching the photo reel as well, and a variety of custom updates for other parts of the airport as well. So overall, as I said, this one is looking pretty damn good. The other thing that's really impressive about this is the price point, and I think every other developer needs to look at FS Dream Team and their pricing. They really absolutely do. This thing's $10. Brand new. If you're a completely new owner and you've never purchased it before, you get this for $10. If you're an existing owner and you're in the legacy version of it, you get a 40% discount to be able to update it. That is awesome. Awesome respect for simmers, awesome respect for existing customers, and amazing steps as a developer. Hey, every other dev, you need to look at this, because this is setting the benchmark 100% for an airport the size and the detail and the complexity of Vancouver International being modeled and released to the public for $10. Wow. Just wow. Well done, team. Absolutely well done for that one. If you want to pick this one up, you can pick this on direct from direct up from FS Dream Team or your favorite flight sim retailer, available now. Moving on to more newer releases this time. So this time releasing from for ground ups. The first one was from the stables of Orbix. So the release this week of Firenze Airport, or Florence Airport in Italy, in the Tuscany region of Italy, and of course this is a really special place for me. So I loved spending my time when I spent time in Florence. I absolutely love it. Is the it's a fascinating place because, especially if anybody who's ever played Assassin's Creed, like you can go around and actually see the places that are there in game, and they look like they do in the game. Like it's just, it really feels like you are going through history when you're walking through the little alleyways and narrow places in that city. Anyway, moving on. So this is the release of the rendition of the city, and also updates to the town as well, including a variety of custom points of interest in and around the airport as well. So in terms of the airport, it's a highly detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in 2020, including a variety of including all airport buildings in high-resolution texturing and high-resolution modeling. Includes a variety of custom animations as well. Full support of undulating runways and taxiways as well. Now, in terms of the outside the airport area as well, it also includes a cityscape of the area as well. Including custom autogen for the area and a variety of custom points of interest, including some of the famous landmarks, including the Duomo di Firenze and the Ponte Vecchio Bridge, are also modeled in beautiful, stunning detail that we'll be enjoying for this one as well. So I'm looking forward to taking this one for a spin, hopefully in the not too distant future. And again, price point on this one is pretty damn awesome. Still definitely a little bit higher than FS Dream Teams, but still not bad. Coming in for $20 US or your regional equivalent, available now from Orbix. In another release from the Orbix stables this week saw the rendition of the release of the rendition of Graz Airport as well. So this one is a fascinating airport, and also been reduced in an Austrian airport and released in ultra high definition, ultra high detail. Includes a single paved 3-kilometer main runway as well as 2 grass runways supported as well. So there's a lot of inter-European travel. But what is interesting about this one is it also is what happens outside of the airport as well, which they've also modeled it as well, which we'll get into to this one as well. So this is a full decent rendition of the airport as it appears in June 2020, including a full customized, fully animated advertising sort of control tower with all its advertising billboards, which is really cool. Also with full animations as well. So that's, again, it's those little things that I really, really love that I was seeing about this one. Includes full sort of support, all the usual stuff that we expect to see now for the new sim, including full PBR, all the rest of it, undulating runways, all that kind of fun stuff. In the unique format of the terminal, the actual terminal is actually shaped like a wing, and this is actually reproduced in a beautiful high definition as well. Also includes a variety of interior modeling for some of the gates, and all custom points are done for the airport, including all airport buildings, including the emergency helicopter service on the base as well, and a variety of ground service equipment. Not only is it the airport itself modeled, but also the surrounding area is also done as well with custom ortho imagery at down to 30cm per pixel resolution, as well as a variety of custom external buildings, including a variety of shopping centers, but also most notably the Mercedes G-Class Experience Center, complete with an animated Mercedes SUV going through its paces. Look, I know it's a small thing, most tube-liner pilots will never see it, but that kind of stuff is really cool and is really awesome, and it really adds to that experience when you're actually doing things like approaches and stuff like that. So I always like to highlight that kind of detail the developer goes through. Alright, in terms of releases, this one's available now from Orbix Direct, available for $18 US or your regional equivalent, available now. Continuing on with more airport releases, this time and an Australian release this week from developer AU Scene. So the release this week of their edition of Southport Airport for the new simulator. Now, this is an interesting small little GA field, and I'm actually rather interested. I was actually kind of surprised that actually AU Scene beat Orbix to the punchline on this one, because I was expecting Orbix to come out with this one, given that Orbix has a very beautiful version of this, highly detailed version of this airport out already for the legacy sims. So I was a bit interested, but yeah, great to see AU Scene developing it, and it looks absolutely stunning. Again, high definition airport, all the usual fun stuff that we see with PBR, all the rest of it. They've done all the airport buildings modeled in really high detail as well, all as it laid out during 2020. As it is mostly just a GA field, so none of your airliner stuff here. But they've gone the next step with some of the animations here, and I really want to highlight this one as well. They've got because I'd sort of been curious about how this, because the SDK doesn't really cover this stuff off at the moment, but they've actually managed to figure out, and they put in animated kangaroos hopping around on one of the fields off the edge of the runway. That alone deserves a shout out and is freaking cool. I think that is awesome. So this release is available now for a price point's not too bad. It's going to be in for $12 US or your regional equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Continuing on with scenery releases, but moving out of the sim of the hour and moving into the world of the ESP sims. This week saw the release from AA Sceneries of their rendition of Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Now, this one is essentially it's an update of a legacy product that they've got. It's actually interesting. I was sort of thinking about this. I think there's been another release of this one recently, but it was for X-Plane 11. We saw that a few weeks ago. Now, this is an updated rendition of the airport as it appears during 2020, including updated photoreal scenery with 60cm per pixel resolution, full support for ground polys of the runway and taxiways as well, with highly detailed custom ground textures, all of the current terminals, including the ones supporting all of the low-cost budget airlines, as well as the major airlines as well, and updates for A380 have all been included now as well. Now, in this release, you also get the release that supports all of the ESP family of sims, all the way from FSX all the way up to Prepared V5, all included as part of the one release, and it's just a switching program to switch between the two. Now, in terms of cost, this one's coming in at $23 US or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Continuing on with airport releases for the ESP world, this time in a Prepared V4 and V5 release. Saw from developer Project Max. I'm pretty sure this is their first project, I feel like. This is the first time I've seen them coming up here on the news show. Saw their release this week of Toowoomba Wellcamp Airport in Australia. Now, this is a very interesting airport, this one, because it was originally called Brisbane West, which was very misleading because it is nowhere near Brisbane. It is several hundred kilometres away. It is by the city of Toowoomba. It ended up being renamed about a year after it was opened to Toowoomba Wellcamp instead of Brisbane West. It's also been it's a cargo, primarily a cargo airport, but also does support passenger ops as well. However, it's been immersed in controversy since it was put in, due to the way the application process went in and the fact that it was put in and essentially endorsed by political forces at the expense of the Australian Defence Force, which operates two bases very close by, which then had to change airspace because of these random civilian airports suddenly appearing right in the middle of its controlled airspace. So it's got a very interesting and turbulent history, and an airport I've spent some time at when it first opened, just as a bit of a research project for myself. As I said, these days though, it provides primarily as a cargo hub. It's positioned itself on the just near a major arterial road sort of network, going both for travel around Australia, and also the proposed location for a interstate rail route. Now, onto this actual release itself, I'm really concerned. Now, the price point isn't bad. It's $5, so I'll give credit where credit's due, so it's only $5. And the detail that's been worked on the ramp itself and the runway is really good. However, the surrounding photoreal, surrounding poly are the old, is the bottom line. The imagery data that they've used is old. It's not recent. It's also, there's a very large, the off-field area is not very well modeled, which not every developer does that, and for the price point, you can't really complain too loudly. So I think it's trying to strike an interesting balance between an affordable, low-cost price point while focusing on only what's essential, which is, of course, the airport and the terminal itself. In that regard, I think they've done pretty well. As I said, I think the photoreal could do with a bit more improvement, but overall, mixed feelings about it. But there you go. If I would pick this one up, you can pick this one up from Sim Market for $5 or your original equivalent, available now. Continuing on with more scenery releases this week from developer Mockthor. I saw the release there this week of their edition of Ushuaia, Ushuaia 2020, which is a city in the southernmost tip of Argentina, in the province of Terra del Fuego, which is the very, very bottom tip of Argentina. Now this add-on pack includes 2 airports as well as a variety of regional points of interest as well. So you get the Ushuaia International Airport and the Aero Club de Ushuaia, so there's sort of more of a GA field nearby. This particular, as well as the a full rendition of the Port of Ushuaia and a variety of alternate texture packs as well. Now, this city is probably most known for anybody who who has ever attempted or looked at or gone on to a cruise around through Antarctica, as this is one of the prime departure points for cruise ships heading southbound for the tourist and the display season. So yeah, that's probably why some may know of this airport, as it is a busy during the summer months, not so much during the winter. But full terrain and full weather supports are made included with this release as well. Now, this is a prepared V4 and V5 exclusive release coming in for $12 US or your regional equivalent, available now from Sim Markets. For another prepared V4 and V5 release, saw the release this week of a series of products from Pilots with their release of their FS Global Ultimate Next Generation 2020 series. Hoi, what a name that was. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure what to make of this because this is a bit odd. I honestly don't know whether this is a separation of a previously released product or whether this is a brand new product, and the information is very generic. Now, it claims that it is a brand new product. It's a brand new product, NG 2020, and it supports. What's most notably interesting about this, though, is that instead of releasing, so previously on Pilots, this is scenery mesh, by the way, folks. So scenery mesh is the 3D mesh that lies underneath your sim scenery layers to actually that your textures then get placed upon to actually give you the the peaks of mountains, the depths of valleys, and the coastlines, and all the rest of it, and that kind of stuff. So recently they released a 2020 edition for Prepared V5, which they had a very time-limited discount they gave existing users for, which I bought. And then they seem to have now released the same product again a few months later, but now instead of selling it to us all as a single product, and now selling it to it by continent basis and selling it at a premium price tag. I've been expressing concern about Pilot's business practices and the way they're charging for stuff for some time, and this is really not. It's not impressing me. I'm getting more and more concerned every time I see a release from these guys. So this time now, you are looking at buying a per continent release. Releases range from $15 all the way up to $30 per continent. And as I said, you just buy per continent now. But as I said, I'm trying to find the comparison between those who might have bought the next generation pack earlier this year, and I can't find any information. It just says brand new for 2020 edition. It's like, well, we bought a 2020 edition a few months ago. Why are you now reselling it to us with smaller data changes? And there's nothing that says anything about, is it replacing anything or anything like that? It's just, I'm concerned, is what it is. So, your mileage may vary. Buy beware. If you want to pick this one up, available now from Sim Market. Alrighty, moving out of the ESP world and moving into the world of X-Plane. So a couple of releases this week. The first one being a long-awaited release from developer Cohen Sim of their release of their rendition of the Bell 222 Bravo model. Now, most people, let's be honest, most people don't know the Bell 222 as being a Bell 222. They know it as Airwolf. Let's be honest here. That's exactly how they know it. However, the fictional Airwolf was designed and modeled off a real-life aircraft, the Bell 222, the retractable gear Bravo version specifically. Now, originally, Cohen Sim released at the start of this year. I think it was the start of this year. They released the UT version, which was the skid version, which is more designed for cargo operations and sort of utility operations with cargo skids. But they did make a statement at the time they were working on the retractable gear Bravo version. It would be coming at some point in the future. It has finally arrived and come at a very reasonable price point of $25 US. Now this comes with a highly detailed rendition of the 222B, including full support for X-Plane's Vulkan API as well, fully VR compliant as well. Includes a full support for the Avitab plugin. Also includes Reality XP GTN 750 support as well, a variety of customizable panel configurations as well. Full set of customized 4K PBR textures across a highly accurate, highly detailed 3D model both internally and externally, including custom 3D instruments as well. Full modeling of the cockpit and the passenger cabin as well, with 20 custom high definition resolution liveries included as well. Full set of support for vibrant detailed night lighting, and a full custom sound and physics set of calculations for blade slap and vibration as well, with over 2,000 lines of code programmed into the sound system as well. Now, as long with that, and yes, it does include the infamous Airwolf livery is included as well. Now, as I said, if you are a new user, if you want to pick this one up brand new, you get this one for $25. If you are an existing owner of the UT utility variant, you get a $10 discount, so bringing it down by over a third of the cost gets brought down for that one. Otherwise, if you wanted to get the best of both worlds, you can pick this up with a brand new pack as well, coming in for $40, available now from Cohen Sim. Continuing on with more X-Plane 11 releases this week, some scenery releases from developer Frank Denisi. Saw the release of his latest scenery this week, helicopter-friendly scenery this week, of the release of Torres del Paine National Park in southern Chile, of course, the southern Chilean Patagonia region. Now, this includes over 800 square kilometers of the mountainous region of the Torres del Paine National Park. Includes one small fixed-wing airfield, as well as 4 helipads located through a variety of tourist center sites as well. Includes a variety of customly modeled and detailed villages and tourist centers with a variety of custom 3D models, all done with 4K resolution as well, and full support for vegetation map and custom terrain mesh included as well. You can pick this one up from xplane.org for $23 or your original equivalent, available now. In another scenery release from developer Boundless, saw the release this week of their rendition of Birmingham International Airport in the United Kingdom. Now, I didn't realise this. This is apparently Birmingham is the UK's 7th busiest airport, which is like, I can't believe people actually want to go to Birmingham sometimes. But anyway, moving on. So this is a highly detailed rendition of the airport, Birmingham International Airport, as it appears in 2020, including full support for PBR texturing throughout, with high definition texture modelling done on all airport buildings. And includes a variety of custom HD trees and custom terrain mesh, including the sloped runway for the airport as well. Full PBR texture support and a variety of custom points of interest outside of the airport surrounds as well, including NEC Resorts World Arena and a variety of custom iconic warehouses and offices in buildings included as well. Also includes an animated monorail throughout the airport, servicing the airport as well for the air rail link, and a variety of custom static ground equipment included as well. And this was coming in for $20 or original equivalent, available now from your favorite flight sim retailer. Moving out of X-Plane and moving into a flight sim of a different kind. Well, it's not really a flight sim, let's be honest here. This is more of an arcade game, but I kind of wanted to highlight it because it looks kind of cool. It's getting a mixed response, but it looks kind of cool. So this week we saw the release on a variety of platforms, including console and PC. The release this week of Red Wings, Aces of the Sky. There is not enough World War I things, so this is one of the reasons why I wanted to highlight this one. So this is basically an arcade shooter. Okay, it's not a flight sim. Let's just be clear about this one. It's not. It's an arcade shooter, but basically you've got an option of you got a story-driven campaign. You've got 12 historical aircraft, not necessarily modeled historically, but historical aircraft included there, with a variety. Essentially, it's an arcade shoot 'em up, but with airplanes, with World War I airplanes. So your mileages may vary, but it could be interesting. Probably the controversy going about this one though is that it has an interesting model. Basically, the base game, in inverted commas, is free. However, if you actually want to do anything in. Basically, it's a demo. The free part is just a demo. If you actually want to have any of the story-driven campaign missions, or unlock 11 of the 12 aircraft, or unlock pretty much any of the survival mode, or versus mode with local split screen, then you need to buy the DLC for it, which comes in at about $30. So it's it comes in about $20. So that's my only real problem with it, is that it's very misleading. Is that the free part is exceedingly misleading. It's not free. They should really have just said it's $20 and be done with it. I am kind of disappointed with the developer over that. But the pixel art start is kind of cool. Did want to talk about that. Anyway, all right, so that's available now for PC users, available now on Steam. Otherwise, for console users or Switch users, available from your in-platform store, available now. Moving from the skies to the permanent way to the world of train simulators, so a couple of releases this week. The first one from developer Just Trains saw the release of Marsdonshire Route add-on. Now, this is an interesting release, actually, because this is a fictional UK county and county network that's been created just for the purposes of train simulating, which is kind of interesting and kind of cool, actually. So, as I said, it comes to us from developer Just Trains, with 160 miles of network within the fictional UK county of Marsdonshire. Includes 23 stations, as well as a variety of industries, including coal, forestry, railway heritage, slate, and tourism as well, with 2 large rail depots and some dockyards as well. So there's a lot going on and a lot to explore in this area. Now, there's no trains included with this one. It is just a region pack. However, it does also support interconnecting routes with 14 other lines. Which is interesting. So it's sort of, it still puts itself in to, a fictional UK, which is interesting. It also includes 15 standard scenarios and 21 free roam scenarios using default rolling stock and default trains as well. Includes fictional Marsdonshire Railways liveries for the Class 166 and the high-speed train service as well. So if you wanted to pick this one up, you can pick this one up from Steam for $35 or the original equivalent, available now. Continuing on with train simulator releases, but this time for the Train Sim World 2. So the release this week of the route add-on of Isle of Wight Ryde to Shanklin add-on this week. So this one is a rendition of the route between Ryde Pierhead and Shanklin Station, and essentially modelling off Ryde rail services along the island, also known as the Island Line. This one. And allows you to take control of the British Rail Class 483 in the Network Southeast livery, including a highly detailed feature-rich driving cab with accurate true-to-life performance, full journey mode featuring over 24 hours of activities for you to master as well, including the train includes authentic and detailed sound recordings recorded from actual trains. Also includes 5 detailed and engaging scenarios for the route area, as well as a variety of training modules as well. And as I said, this one is for Train Sim World 2 and coming in for $25 or your regional equivalent, available now from Steam. Moving out of the word permanent way and moving into simulation of a very different kind this week. Saw the release this week of Fishing North Atlantic. I had no idea what to sort of say about this one, but it's kind of like Boat Simulator, but with fish. So this is essentially a commercial fishing sort of simulation, and with a variety of with over 20 different fishing ships are included with this one. Now, this is a successor from the same developer as Fishing Barnet Sea, and this one is sort of North Atlantic. This one is sort of set in off the Canadian coast around the Nova Scotia area. Includes a variety of different custom fishing methods, including harpooning, dip lining, lobster fishing, crabbing, and longline net and trawling, all included as well. Variety of different fish species included, with an advanced water and weather modeling system as well, all supported by realistic weather data fed from the area as well. You also get dynamic fish prices, so it is actually connected, a bit like Elite Dangerous, it's actually connected to a global market, so everything is actually connected. So even though it's not necessarily multiplayer, you're still living in a dynamic, breathing world, which is kind of cool as well. The fish habitats for the fish that you are after is also swim around the map with a variety of different areas based on their yearly seasons. So it's actually based in real world as well. Excuse me. As I said, the map is included is set off Nova Scotia off Canada, including about a 200 by 300 kilometer approximate area with 6 realistic ports also included. Now you can pick this one up currently on normally for $35 US, but currently on a launch special of 10% off, available now on Steam. And finally, rounding out the NovaWrap for this week, saw the release this week of a interesting title. This one that funny enough, I actually kind of knew this one through my actual professional work. So this week saw the release to the general public of Vital Signs Emergency Department. Now, the reason why I know of this title is that this is what's also known as edutainment. So this is a piece of software that was actually originally designed for actual medical personnel as a training tool. It's not complete. It's not a complete simulation, nor as one we might see it. It's definitely not something like Surgeon Simulator. That's just complete BS. But what this actually goes through clinical processes designed to help embed training and help embed things and experiences that actual medical professionals will experience in real life, and how they manage them and how they manage scenarios. So it's really kind of interesting, and it's something that I knew of. As I said, I knew of professional because I said it's there as a training and teaching tool. Actually, been out in the world for a while. So it's interesting to see it come to the us here as the amateur world. It's kind of interesting. Now the base title itself is free. And it gives a tutorial of how to use it and 2 scenarios with 10 different patient cases as well. It's a fairly short, quick experience. There are a series of DLC that you can also pick up as well for a variety of other additional possible conditions, possible patients and scenarios that the patients will present you. Each one of those packs coming in at about $5 each. So, as I said, kind of interesting. Possibly not for everybody, but as I said, it's this new attitude for edutainment, and I think it's a really strong. The gamification of learning is a really, really powerful tool, and it's something that I think the old style of educators are still reluctant to accept and look into. But I think it's going to become far more prevalent as we go on, as those of us who are, well, not so much me because I'm a bit old now, but the younger ones, so the youth start to go through who've grown up playing video games. It's actually going to become a more important part of their learning is actually going to be through gamification of learning. So something might be interesting for you guys to check out if you're interested. As I said, available now for free from Steam. And with that, folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.